Tiffany, and today me and my partner Tiffany are going to be debating on lowering the drinking age in the United States from the age 21 to the age of 18. The policy that's in question is the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. This was made in 1984, and it's an act that requires states to prohibit persons under the age of 21 from purchasing or publicly possessing alcoholic beverages. And the condition is that if they don't enforce this, the states will be receiving fewer highway funds from the federal government. So, this policy is really unfair and discriminatory towards young adults from the age of 18 to 20 because they are at the age of majority and they have to make many important decisions already, decisions that are more important than choosing whether or not they can drink alcohol. And about 100 college presidents from some of the best-known U.S. universities, including Duke, Dartmouth, and Ohio State, agree with this. They're calling on lawmakers to consider lowering the drinking age from the age 21 to 18 because they believe that the current laws actually encourage dangerous binge drinking on campus. This law is not well written, and it forces states to make a very difficult decision. Dr. John McCardell, he was a retired president from the Middlebury College, and he writes that state legislators, many of whom will admit that the law is bad, but they're held hostage by the denial of highway funds if they reduce the drinking age. The latter-day prohibitionists have driven drinking behind closed doors and underground. And also David Hansen, he's an alcohol policy expert from the State University of New York. He says that raising the drinking age to 21 was passed with the very best of intentions, but it's had the very worst of outcomes. Just like the national prohibition, the law was pushed and forced, and it forced underage drinking and youthful drinking underground, which we now have no control over. The prohibition was during the 1920s, and what we have now is not a prohibition, but many people have compared it to that because the prohibition, it led to smuggling, violence, and organized crime by gangs. And it was the U.S. trying to stop alcoholic consumption in this country, but it led to very harmful consequences. And just like the prohibition, the legal age 21 drinking age has also led to many negative consequences, such as underground drinking, which is basically just unsupervised drinking, because alcohol is still, people are still able to get the alcohol, except they cannot drink in public places, which will make it even more dangerous since they're unsupervised. And they still drink anyways. It's Mark Beckner, the police chief in Boulder, Colorado. He says that as for the police department, he says we're not in a situation where we can stop underage drinking. The best that we can do is try to contain it. We do enforce the law, but what we're seeing is that it's not being effective. We, the police, will find a party where we know there's underage drinking. We would surround the house, and we would write up every single underage person coming out of that house. We wrote hundreds and hundreds of tickets those years, and all we did was push it even further underground. The minimum drinking law is just unenforceable. And an example of this is Forty Bailey. He was 18 years old when he died of alcohol poisoning at a fraternity initiation. The 911 call made by his fraternity brothers the next morning, 9 hours after he passed out and then died, was released. And they did not make the call earlier when he first passed out because it is illegal for most of them in the fraternity to be drinking. And because they didn't take care of it earlier before he died, he died because of their irresponsibleness. And his parents, Gordy Bailey's parents, they started the Gordy Foundation, and it's not to support the 21 minimum drinking age, but it's to educate young adults on the dangers of excessive drinking. And the current law, it's just not working, and this is proven by the federal government's National Survey on Drug Use and Health, made in 2005, which is the most recent year for with complete figures available for this, and it's that 85% of 20-year-olds, they reported in this survey that they had used alcohol, and 2 out of every 5 said that they binge drink, which is consuming 5 or more drinks at the same time within the previous month alone. And the only way to really solve this is by lowering the drinking age, and most importantly, educating young adults on the proper use of alcohol. Because, and even Barrett Seaman, the author of Binge, says that if you lower the drinking age, make drinking no longer a forbidden fruit, but rather something that young adults do with older adults who have learned how to handle alcohol responsibly, then you reduce those behaviors rather than increasing them. And to really educate them on the proper use of alcohol and how much alcohol to use, it would lead to much less unsupervised and also binge drinking.